You were never locked in by the world. You were locked in by a belief, not a wall, not a chain, a sentence whispered so many times you started calling it truth. You can't. You can't say that. You can't want that. You can't go there. You can't be more than this. And somewhere along the way, you believed it. Not because it was true, but because it was safe. Because freedom, real freedom, doesn't just require movement. It requires confrontation with the self, with the past, with the illusion. And you've been avoiding that confrontation for years. You call it comfort. You call it being realistic. You call it responsibility. But it's not that. It's fear disguised as structure. It's shame disguised as humility. It's submission disguised as the right thing to do. But here's the truth. You were never caged by your circumstances. You were caged by the story you told yourself about them. There are no guards. There are no bars. There's just an idea reinforced through repetition, wrapped in survival, cemented in silence. And the scariest part? You built it, brick by brick, memory by memory, lie by lie, until your own mind became your master, until your own voice became your warden, until your own dreams started sounding like delusion. This is what Carl Jung called the undiscovered self, the part of you buried beneath culture, childhood, trauma, and identity, the part of you that knows the truth but has been gaslit by your own conditioning. You don't need to be rescued. You need to be reclaimed. You need to stop decorating yourself and start breaking the walls, because you were never broken. You were trained to stay small. And the worst part about mental prisons, they're invisible. You walk through life, go to work, laugh with friends, and smile on the outside, while the inside rots. Quietly, systematically, no one sees the chains around your thoughts. No one hears the echo of your dreams dying in silence. But you do. You always do. You feel it when you look in the mirror. You feel it when you can't sleep. You feel it in the emptiness after every achievement that didn't set you free. That ache, that void, that slow sinking dread, that's the soul suffocating behind the bars of your own beliefs. You're not tired because you're lazy. You're tired because it takes everything you have to act normal in a life that doesn't fit your spirit. This is where Syphoria begins. That sacred moment of psychological dissonance when you finally realize the system you're trapped in was built by you. And it doesn't make you a failure. It makes you ready. Ready to unlearn. Ready to unhook. Ready to disobey the scripts that were handed down like family heirlooms. You see, we inherit more than genes. We inherit mental cages. We inherit silence. We inherit guilt for wanting more. But your job is not to repeat the lineage. Your job is to liberate it. You do not honor your ancestors by staying broken. You honor them by becoming what they never had permission to be. Free, fully, unapologetically, whole. But to be free, you must shift your mindset. No more rehearsing trauma. No more romanticizing struggle. No more idolizing your limitations. This is the rebirth of your mind. The moment you say, I'm done confusing safety with slavery. Comfort is not peace. Stability is not freedom. Being liked is not the same as being alive. The strong mind is not the one that always wins. It's the one that questions. It questions the fear. It questions the rules. It questions the shame that kept you obedient in places you were meant to outgrow. You don't need more motivation. You need more clarity. Clarity about who you are when no one's watching. Clarity about what you truly want when no one else's voice is in the room. Clarity about what you are willing to walk away from, even if it makes you the villain in someone else's story. Because clarity is painful, but clarity is truth. And truth is what unlocks the door. You've been trying to feel better inside the cage, trying to fix your mood without questioning your meaning, trying to find happiness in a structure designed to keep you contained. But you don't heal by making your prison prettier. You heal by walking out. You don't need a new routine. You need a new reality. And to create that, you must believe. You must build belief that is stronger than your fear, that is louder than your past, that is more loyal to your future than to the people who want you to stay the same. Belief isn't blind. It's brave. It looks into the face of every what if and says, I'm willing to find out. You don't need all the answers. You just need to trust that the cage was never real, only rehearsed, only reinforced, only repeated by a mind that didn't know it was free. You are not here to cope. You are here to create. You are not here to manage your pain forever. You are here to alchemize it into power. You are not here to memorize the rules of the prison. You are here to break them and write your own. This life, this one shot you've been given, was never meant to be survived. It was meant to be set on fire. And that fire begins the moment you realize that the door has always been open. The only thing that's been keeping you inside is you. Good. Because once the illusion of the cage dissolves, once you stop feeding the walls with your fear, you start to see something you hadn't seen before. Vision. Not fantasy. Not ego. Not a desperate dream to escape the pain. But true vision. The kind that rises from clarity, from courage, from consciousness. This is not the kind of vision they teach in strategy books. This is the vision of a soul that remembers what it came here to do, remembers what it buried to survive, remembers what it saw before the world made it blind. Your vision doesn't have to make sense. It has to make truth. Truth to you. Truth to what wakes you up in the middle of the night. Truth to the part of you that always knew you were meant for more. Not more money, not more attention, but more life, more light, more liberation. Vision is the soul's GPS, but you cannot receive direction if you keep silencing the voice. You don't find vision. You remember it, and once you remember, you can never go back to pretending, because vision brings with it responsibility. The responsibility to protect it, to build around it, to live it, not just dream it. And that demands one thing above all: purpose, not performance, not pretending. Purpose, the sacred reason you rise, the higher reason you say no, the deeper reason you hold the line. When the old self tries to crawl back into your skin, purpose is not always loud. Sometimes it arrives in stillness, a voice that says, you are no longer available to be ordinary, because something in you woke up, something ancient, something feral and free, undone being boxed in by borrowed beliefs. This is when life stops being a checklist and starts becoming a cause. You don't just wake up for work, you wake up for war. Not with the world, with every lie that once told you you were only worth what you could prove. No, not anymore. Now you rise for purpose. Now you move in integrity. Now you build what they said was too much. And you do it not because it's easy, but because it's you. But purpose without commitment is just a concept. To bring it into the world You must walk with discipline, the kind that doesn't negotiate with weakness, the kind that moves whether you feel like it or not, the kind that honors your higher self when your lower self begs for comfort. Discipline is not about punishing yourself. It's about prioritizing yourself. It's how you show the universe, your mind, your body, your shadow, that you are serious about liberation. You've already seen what being undisciplined costs. Relationships that drain, dreams that die in journals, potential that rusts behind procrastination. But not anymore. Now every action is sacred. Every habit is a statement. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build the architecture of a free mind. Discipline is not a restriction. It's your rescue. It's what pulls you from the gravity of who you used to be into the future that already exists, if you're brave enough to meet it. And you meet it through action, not talking, not journaling, not preparing for months, because you're not ready yet. You are ready, not because it's perfect, but because it's true. Every time you take a step, you chip away at the illusion of limitation. Every time you speak your truth, you rip one more brick out of the wall. Every time you do what your fear told you not to, you walk one step closer to the open field. Action makes it real. Action gives your soul evidence. It tells the deepest part of you, we're not prisoners anymore. And that part of you begins to believe. And when belief and behavior align, your life becomes undeniable. Not because it's loud, but because it's rooted. Not because you're flawless, but because you are finally free. And freedom isn't a moment, it's a process of integration, where you stop trying to run from who you were and start bringing every version of you to the table. The wounded one, the confused one, the one who stayed too long, the one who left too soon, the one who sabotaged, the one who survived. You gather them, you face them, you hold them, and you say, we're not at war anymore. You don't shame your past. You study it. You don't amputate your shadow. You instruct it. You don't erase the mistakes. You elevate them into medicine, into mastery, into memory that now serves rather than enslaves. This is how the prison dissolves. Not by destroying your past, but by finally choosing to integrate it into power. And when you've done that, when you've made peace with your paradox, when you no longer fear being misunderstood, you step into your final truth. You were never trapped. You were trained to believe you were. Trained by trauma, trained by fear, trained by silence, trained by survival. But the training ends when awareness begins. The lie ends when embodiment begins. And the real you, the one behind the eyes, the one you haven't seen since before, they gave you a name. That you was never behind bars, only behind beliefs. And now the walls are gone. Now the door is open. Now the keys were in your hand the whole time. Now the warden sits beside you and says, thank you. I was only keeping you here because you asked me to. You rise. You breathe. You step forward. Not fast. Not loud. Not perfect. But free. Because the real prison was never made of steel. It was made of silence. And you just broke it. Forever.